Hello! Welcome back to another episode of A Chill Film Discussion. Today's episode is episode 25. Sorry we were unavailable last week. There was a big there's a big match in the Euro Cup between England and Italy that I really wanted to watch it, and it kind of conflicted with our time, so we decided to postpone it. Apologies, but we're back now
Yep.
with another episode, another movie. Um, yeah, today's our 25th episode, so we've been doing this for 25 times for 25 weeks. Um,
Insane.
I guess whoever watches
Commitment
this,
for us.
thanks for watching. I guess this is a bit of a fun one for our 25th. Our first episode was Detachment, which starred Adrian Brody, and now we're on our 25th episode, and Brothers Bloom, which is the movie we're going to be discussing today, also stars Adrian Brody. So there's a bit of a small teaser. Definitely, and intentional. Definitely intentional. um, um, but yeah, Brothers Bloom, the film that we discussed today, it's an American comedy drama heist film about these two con men, Bloom and Steven, brothers who are basically they're con artists, and Bloom is kind of like the younger brother Bloom, played by Adrian Brody. He's like, I don't want to be part of these cons. I want to live my life. I want something that's real. He's disillusioned by Stevens, who's played by Mark Ruffalo. Stevens plans because he's like the planner, and this whole movie is about kind of like this last con that Bloom is a part of with Steven and their journey throughout. I personally, this movie, I think the overall plot was very well done, very well executed. I think for the very beginning, you sort of like understood these characters. There's a very long intro sequence with as them as kids where they plan their first con, and I think it builds up. I think it very appropriately introduces the characters and like their relationship and how they make these cons. So I think that's really well done. Um, the intro was nice. I think the from the get go, this movie is about subverting expectations, and I think it laid the foundation for that very from the beginning. Um, once again, that was well done as an intro. I think the character chemistry was very good. I think acting between all the main cast, four characters, Bang Bang, Penelope, Bloom, and Steven, all good. I think Penelope's character was eccentric, and at times there were moments throughout the film that was weird. Didn't know if they needed to be there. Wasn't necessarily convinced about the chemistry between her and Bloom at times, but because of her eccentricity, I give it a pass. I think that was intentional. Um, and yeah, I mean, also the whole like I think Rian Johnson, who directed this film, does a really good job of framing like something that's happening in the main, like in the first layer, like framing something that's happening that you're supposed to be focusing on the audience, but in the background there's something that's like sort of funny, sort of humorous that's happening, like especially with I think Bang Bang's character. She does that a lot where she's in the back and she provides some comic relief. I think that's a really nice. I think that's a really nice touch on like the comedic aspect of this film. Um, yeah, and of course, there's a lot of foreshadowing about the ending of this film and how, spoiler alert, Steven dies as one last hurrah, one last con for Bloom, and then in the end, everyone sort of gets what they want. You know, Bloom gets a real relationship with Penelope. Diamond Dog gets his 1.75 million. Steven is happy that now Bloom is happy or whatever. You know, his last you know act. Um, so yeah, I think overall this film was very solid. Um, it was a very nice, almost like a sort of like a good sense of well composed plot, and it was also as if like the path that was laying as it was dictating each step of the film from like start to finish, you know, and almost like a sort of like a oh here's how you can subvert expectations in a sense. Um, so yeah, it's a very solid film. I would give it. Um, I'd probably give it a 9. Yeah,
Nine.
I did really enjoy this film. Now, and after talking about it more, I did really like it. I mean, I think the only parts that I thought were off were there's some scenes that I don't think with Penelope were like, didn't necessarily need to be there. And then yeah, I think the payoff. I think that ending payoff was what was really spot on. Especially with how Bloom thought that Steven would fake his death again, but Steven actually died because the blood turned brown, which was foreshadowed at the very beginning of the film. Nice ending to pull it together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, for me, I mean, I think kind of mirrors some of your same sentiments, right? It's a really good film. How it was put together. For all this, the plot, story was well told, and I just like the interactions with which all the characters. For me, I really enjoyed Bang Bang's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
How she was, doing all these gestures in the background and whatnot. It was, comic relief, and I really enjoyed, seeing the antics that she would pull. But throughout the film, again, seeing how they kind of pulled off this con, and it's just a different story, and how things kind of go along, or don't go along, where Steam is planning it and Penelope just does things that kind of goes against that plan. But still overall, I think it was a good story that's been told, and the character dynamics between everyone, right? Especially between Steven and Bloom, just seeing how they interact was really well. The comedy of this film was spot on, I think, for the most part. There are a lot of times there's like slapstick or just something happening that's funny where you just don't expect it. I really enjoy the scene. I think the first real laugh that came out was when Penelope was showing her talents. That really got to me. I was really I think that's why I really laughed out loud, like really hard. And throughout the film, I think I was just
Oh wow!
yeah, yeah, I
Loud
was like, I was,
laughter. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, I was just like, oh wow,
Hmm.
that scene really got to me, and just I think throughout the film, there's other points where that I started, chuckling and whatnot, and I appreciate it. Like I don't think it was maybe not a subtle comedy, but like it wasn't like like the hot chicks, like like where it's just I feel like it was like kind of like trying to be like against the grain or rough, or when I just that or really really stupid, right, or just like something like some buffoonery, right. Here I think it's just it goes against your expectations, and
Buffoonery.
yeah, it goes against your expectations, or it's just like something very subtle, or just something that you don't really expect, and that's why I kind of like that kind of irony. That's the kind of comedy I think I appreciate more of my you know but it's all different, right? Comedy is subjective, but here I think I appreciated it a lot more than our usual comedy films. In terms of drama, I think this film, definitely, pulled it off, right? And I think we both liked the ending, and how those, it was shot in terms of like, this what the expectation was, and just how it was revealed in the end, and how there was a very emotional moment where Bloom was, mourning his brother. I thought, that was really powerful and see, but I don't know if it paid off as much just because of there was a lot of times where you don't know what to believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the scene itself independently worked for me. But yeah, at the end I don't think it would have been as emotional if I kind of knew like for certain like this is the final moment, or like at least leading up to it. But overall, really liked how there was like this there was this con pulled to the audience pretty much, right? The audience doesn't know whether or not. So I appreciated how the director Rian Johnson um, expressed and
Rian
portrayed that.
Johnson.
Ryan Johnson, portrayed that. So overall, very good movie. There are some scenes again, that didn't work for me. That maybe kind of pulled me out. Um, we discussed about it before. With Penelope on the train, or again, I think for me it was just I think the very last thing that really took me out of it was when Steven got shot and he did that flip. That really I don't think that for me that was kind of contrived and didn't really earn the moment after at the end. That's why I think really got me not feeling it. But overall, good movie. There are some things maybe thematically maybe I didn't really feel, but I overall good movie to watch. So
It's only after you were convinced that Steven
yeah,
planned the whole thing.
yeah. So I still feel like
Uh,
there are portions that maybe the it was all improvised. So
mm.
I don't want to give it too low because
It's
I
so
feel like it's open to
it's
interpretation.
open to interpretation. Yeah.
Um, but I really enjoyed this movie, and I think I'd probably give it an 8.
Right.
Despite some of the things that we discussed already. Just because it was a well planned story, right? The story is good. I can't fault it for that. The characters are good, actors were good, right? Comedy was spot on, and it was just well executed. But maybe some of the themes we can debate on. But yeah,
What were you? Okay, I have a question.
I was gonna give it a, I think
8,
8.5, and
8.5.
then
Okay.
once we discussed it, I probably would have dropped it down to a 7. But then I was thinking about it a little bit more, and I was
Wow.
just like, I did like this movie a lot,
Holy
especially during
smokes.
experience. I'd probably give it an 8. So
Okay. Okay. Dang, you would have dropped it a point and a half.
yeah, yeah, definitely recommend the movie though. I think everyone who watches it will enjoy it.
Yeah. Same. I think if we're looking for like a good con artist movie, good comedy film, good acting, just
It's a good movie in general. I
this
think this
movie.
is
Yeah.
this will appeal to a lot of people. I think so.
Yeah. I recommend this movie. Nice use of I mean, it's 2 hours long, but it doesn't feel too long. It's not like
Right, exactly.
average length movie. Yep, cool. All right, well, that's our discussion for today on Brothers Bloom. Austin here. Austin would have given an 8.5, but I apparently convinced him to bring it down because of some interpretations. But of course, if you watch this film, there's multiple. I'm sure you'll have your own interpretation of what happened, how it happened. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream, today's discussion. We're gonna, I think we'll be back on track schedule. There's nothing next week that's happening that would
That we know
postpone
of.
that we know
Yeah.
of currently that would postpone. But if we do change it, it'll be on the website. It'll be on. I was change. It'll be changed on the Twitch stream schedule. And as far as the movie, we are going to decide that too. So it will be updated on both the website and the Twitch stream schedule.
Yes.
Cool. Well, with that, I hope you guys, whenever you watch it, if you watch it, and have a great day. And we'll see you next time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, Sunday.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Bye.
Peace.